Good boss of YouTube. How's it going, everybody? Hopefully y'all are having a good Friday. Is it Friday? Yeah, a good Friday today. Have for y'all a really good match I had off of my stream that I had the other day. Thank you for the few of you who did come out to that. I do plan to start streaming a lot again, so if you guys would like to battle me, then come out to the streams. I am going to try to stream for a couple days starting Tuesday hopefully, so we'll see how things go, and then I'll be able to fit that more into my schedule. And just, yeah, if you would like to battle me, come out to the streams and you could be in the battle. So yeah, if you guys do enjoy this, make sure to hammer arm that like button down below. And the team that I'm using is one that I kind of just threw together that was based around Volt Turn with Hydreigon, Specs Hydreigon, and then I just kind of threw in a Crocodile. We have Scarf and Furnip, which I think right now is a really good revenge killer. Just Volt Turn core of Rotom Wash and Scizor, and then U-turn on Furnip again, and then Volt Switch on Ice Manectric. So going into this battle, I honestly thought I just lost at team preview because if you saw it, T-Spikes kind of destroy me, and then if that's Vincoon, that literally just stalls me out. So that could be really bad as well. So I not only have to prevent that from potentially happening, but if I lose my Scizor, I just get swept by Mega Altaria at +2 speed. So that's also another giant issue to watch out for. So I end up leading off with my Mega Manectric, as he's going to be leading off with his Mega Altaria. Turn 1, I'm going to go straight for the Volt Switch. Unfortunately, this Mega Manectric has Hidden Power Grass instead of Hidden Power Ice, mainly because this was from a previous team, and I kind of just picked it up and was like, oh, well, these six kind of go good together, which I guess in theory, this team could really work out. I may try it out on Showdown. But yeah, I more or less just do the team together. But it's still really fun. But yeah, anyways, have HP Grass, not HP Ice, which really sucks because I can't hit this Altaria for super effective damage, and I can't hit the Gliscor for super effective damage. So I Volt switched into my Scizor, which is actually really cool. It's Adamant Max Attack with Max HP, U-turn, Bullet Punch, Superpower, and Swords Dance. I did kind of want to fit Roost on there, but I felt like Superpower could have been really handy since I didn't want to go with the defensive Scizor in general. As I do U-turn out, expecting him to switch out, I will be able to bring in my Hydreigon here, and I'm Choice Specs. I'm gonna go straight for the Dark Pulse, and Harris throughout this battle was telling me that he was really fearing me possibly having Flash Cannon, which I guess could have made some sense because Flash Cannon would be able to hit Altaria for super effective damage. Unfortunately though, this Hydreigon does not have Flash Cannon, but he does not know that, so I'm able to get off a huge hit on the incoming Tentacruel, which is really nice because now if I can pressure it a little bit more, I will be able to stop it from getting up those T-Spikes, as I then hard switch directly into my Manectric here. I thought that he would either want to pull a double switch here, or if he did go for the return at -1, I would still be able to take the hit and then gauge to see if he was a more offensive variant of Mega Altaria or a defensive setup variant of Mega Altaria. But he actually does switch into the Manectric, which is really good for me, the Magneton, sorry, so I can go for the Flamethrower, and I'm able to catch the incoming Tentacruel, and I cannot mess around with this Tentacruel. I really do not want to allow it to get up that layer of Toxic Spike, so I will be aggressive here, and I'm going to decide to go for the Thunderbolt, as he does end up bringing in the Gliscor. And again, I do not have the Hidden Power Ice, which really sucks, but I probably wouldn't have gone for it in this scenario again because of those T-Spikes and just how much of a big issue they really can be. So I hard switch right into my Crocodile, which if you look at his team, Crocodile doesn't really do entirely too much in this battle, mainly for the fact that Scizor can still beat me 1v1, although I can't chip it down with Rocky Helmets. I can't really do anything to Suicune that could be a potential speedy Tentacruel, and I don't touch the Altaria. So if anything, I can maybe bluff that I have the taunt here and stop Gliscor from getting up his own rocks. If not, then I will be able to at least get up my rocks and then go for the knockoff, getting off a good amount of damage on the Gliscor. As it turns out that he's got the U-turn, which is really good because I will be able to chip him down a little bit more, and as long as he doesn't have defog on the Scizor, I will be able to keep this Gliscor low with enough offensive pressure. So he does end up bringing in the Scizor here. Either way, my best play is to just go straight for the knockoff, because if he does want to go for the defog for some reason, then I will be able to get rid of his potential leftovers. But he ends up going straight for the Bullet Punch. I am able to chip him down with the Rocky Helmet. This does now allow me to get a free switch into Rotom Wash, and I'm just gonna go straight for the Hydro Pump. I really thought about going for the Volt Switch here, but if he did leave in the Scizor, as you saw here, I can get off a really good amount of damage on him. Plus, he doesn't exactly have too much that can switch into my Rotom Wash except for this Altaria, and I will be able to just Volt Switch out against it. Either way though, I wanted to kind of like work my way around his team before I got to Altaria. That's kind of how this is probably going to go, is what I'm thinking. But yeah, the good thing about this is that if I'm able to just weaken his team, then I will eventually be able to deal with this Altaria. Plus, I still have my Scizor in the back, which can just come in and knock him out with the Bullet Punch, but again, he does have the Magneton. So I do go for the Volt Switch here. As he ends up going for the Roost, I will be able to Volt Switch right into my Scizor here, which can just go straight for the Bullet Punch, and I'm expecting him to want to switch out, but Harris makes a really good play here. Knows that I'm not going to go straight for the Bullet Punch because the switch out is way too obvious, and obviously I cannot risk this Magneton bringing itself in and trapping my Scizor, because if I lose Scizor, I lose this battle. So I will be able to U-turn out here into my Infernape. As I do have the Gunk Shot, I am going to go straight for that. If I'm not able to knock him out, I will hopefully do enough damage to where I can then take him out with Stealth Rocks or just safely revenge kill him. But he is going to decide to switch out here, expecting me to go for the Gunk Shot, as I will be able to hit the incoming Suicune. If I get the poison on the Suicune, then this thing is actually no longer a big problem at all. But I'm not able to get the poison, and that is slightly annoying because I still have to deal with this giant threat if he gets up T-Spike. So I'm going to hard switch right into my Hydreigon here, thinking that he would just want to go straight for the Scald, maybe not wanting to go for the Calm Mind, because then if I poison him, he knows that it's not as helpful to him. But he actually turns out to have the Roar, which means he is not Vinkun, but he could now be Rest Talk, Roar, Suicune, and that could also be really bad. But he does roar me out into my Manectric, which is nice because now I will be able to safely go for the Thunderbolt or go for the Volt Switch or pull a double switch here into my Hydreigon, expecting him to bring in the Gliscor. This is where if I had the Hidden Power Ice, I definitely would have gone for it. There was no reason for him to honestly have stayed in here because, again, the Thunderbolt or the Volt Switch was entirely too obvious, so I would have been able to knock out the Manectric here with the Hidden Power Ice, but by doubling into my Hydreigon, I put him in a scenario of, am I going to go for Flash Cannon, predicting his switch into the Mega Altaria, or am I just going to go straight for the Dark Pulse and ensure the KO? Which he does expect me to go for the Flash Cannon, which is why he brings in the Tentacruel here, and I'm able to knock him out with the Dark Pulse. And this is excellent because now he can no longer get up Toxic Spikes against my team, and he can no longer spin away my Stealth Rocks. So in comes the Altaria. I do not want to stay in because Dark Pulse does 0, and I do expect them to want to either pull a double switch or go for the Dragon Dance, which is why I hard switch right into my Infernape. Unfortunately though, he does go for the Facade, but I am able to live that, which is really nice. So I will end up going for the U-turn this turn, thinking that he would switch out, but he stays in, and I really wish that I had clicked the Gunk Shot there, but I couldn't risk it because he could have easily tried to have sacked off his Scizor or potentially the Magneton, although more likely the Scizor than the Magneton because he needs Magneton for my Scizor. But either way though, he made another good play there, as I will be able to bring in my Scizor here. I do expect him to want to switch out now, so I am going to go for the U-turn. The great thing about this is that every time this Magneton consistently comes in, I will be able to still chip it down along with the Stealth Rock. So that's going to be excellent. If I'm able to get up a Swords Dance with my Scizor late game, I could potentially knock him out. So I U-turn into my Manectric here. I don't want to play around with this Magneton. I'm going to go straight for the Flamethrower in hopes to be able to knock it out, but he knows that, so he is going to make a safe switch into his Altaria here. And what this does allow me to do is then just go for the Volt Switch the following turn, potentially into my Scizor, to be able to again force him out with the U-turn or U-turn as he switches out, and then I can go from there. But he's actually going to end up switching out here into his Magneton, which is perfectly fine by me because, again, chipping down this Magneton is exactly what I need to be doing in this battle if I want to win. So I will be able to get on out of here and bring in my Hydreigon, which, much like earlier, I can play the mind games of potentially going for the Flash Cannon or just going straight for the Dark Pulse. And again, I don't have Flash Cannon, but he doesn't know this. But then it turns out that he is actually Choice Scarfed Magneton, and I thought that he was going to be Specs Magneton. So the fact that that thing is scarfed is actually kind of annoying, because now if we get into a scenario, Magneton could revenge kill my Hydreigon, and that could be bad. So I'm able to knock out the Gliscor here, which is really nice for my Manectric, as in comes the Altaria. He clearly knows I am Choice in some way at this point, because I've not been switching on moves a single time, and I am going to be able to Dark Pulse here, just gauging to see how much damage it would do. I did expect him to maybe want to try and double or go for the Roost. There was also the slight chance that I might have been able to flinch him and then knock him out the next turn. Either way though, I do feel comfortable in bringing in my Scizor here, thinking that he's just going to go for a Facade or go for the Dragon Dance, but Harris makes another good play, predicts my Scizor switch in here, and he's going to double out into the Magneton, which really sucks, because now he's able to successfully trap me unless my Bullet Punch is able to knock him out. But because I am not Life Orbed or Choice Banded, Magneton just barely hangs on, and he's able to knock me out, and now I am in a terrible position because that Altaria has just become an even bigger issue than it was before. So I bring in my Hydreigon here, and I'm just going to claim my kill or just go for the U-turn and gain momentum on whatever he decides to switch into this. But at this point, Magneton has fulfilled its job. It's really not doing anything else, so he should have just sacked it off as he did here. As I'm able to knock him out, I do still have a chance to maybe win this battle, but it all comes down to how I play around the Mega Altaria. So I U-turn into my Rotom Wash here in hopes to bait in the Altaria so I could then potentially get a slow Volt Switch back into my Infernape potentially. Although I guess I could have also maybe gone for the Will-O-Wisp in this scenario, but if he was a Refresh variant or a Heal Bell variant of Dragon Dance Altaria, then I still lost either way, because he would have then been able to go for a second Dragon Dance, and then at that point he outspeeds my entire team. At least if I get out of here and bring in my Infernape, as he only has +1 speed, I am still faster than him, and I can then knock him out with the Gunk Shot, and I essentially have to go for the Gunk Shot here. I am not in a scenario of where I can mess around with this Altaria and go for close combat and risk him switching out, because if I had gone for close combat, he then brings in Altaria, goes for Roost, Dragon Dances, and then Dragon Dances again on whatever I have in against it, and then I lose. So I basically had to go for the Gunk Shot there, as he did switch into the Scizor. I am going to switch into my Rotom. If he does go for the U-turn, he's going to get knocked out by Stealth Rocks either way. So he actually ends up going for the Swords Dance, and I will be able to then knock him out with the Volt Switch. Even if he had gone for the Bullet Punch at +2, I do 4 times resist it, and I don't know why I said that. I do 4 times resist it, and I am a very bulky variant of Rotom Wash. So I Volt Switch into my Hydreigon here. The great thing about Hydreigon still in this battle is that he does not know if I have the Flash Cannon or not. So if I can force him out here, I have a much better chance to win. And thankfully Harris does switch out, fearing me having the Flash Cannon, and I will be able to go for the Dark Pulse here and be able to 2-hit KO the Suicune or 2-hit KO the Altaria on the switch-in. So I'm going to be able to knock out the Suicune, and at this point all he has is his Mega Altaria, and all I need to do to not lose this battle is prevent it from getting up to +2 speed. So I am going to be aggressive this turn and stay in, and I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse, mainly because I thought that I would have a chance to knock him out at this range, which it just lives on like 1 or 2%, and he's then going to go for the Roost. So now we're in a very tricky scenario. I honestly expect him to want to go for Dragon Dance, so I'm going to make an aggressive switch into my Infernape. If he had gone for the Facade, or if he had gone for the Roost, I just lost the battle right here. But I need to make this aggressive play, because at this range of HP, I can knock him out with the Gunk Shot. So it all comes down to whether or not I can hit this Gunk Shot, and I miss! Oh, I miss! Harris! Again, just lucking me out of a victory, man. Come on. I really felt like I played this match well. Don't get me wrong though, Harris played really good too. Like we both made some solid plays and it was back and forth, and eventually I was able to put momentum in my favor, but of course ended up missing gunk shot and I just lose at that point because a +2, the Altaria just basically kills everything I have, or it just gets up more dragon dances on whatever I have and just beats them. So yeah, there was really nothing I could do at that point. Either way though, it was still a really good and fun game in my opinion. Like I had a blast, especially because it was on stream, but just it really sucks that I missed the gunk shot there. I apologize for saying really so much as well. I kind of noticed that throughout this narration. We'll try to not say that ever again, or at least in the future sometime, but just yeah. Hopefully y'all did enjoy the match. If you did, make sure to hammer arm that like button down below. Never forget, Harris is lucky and bad, not awesome. So with that being said, I will see you all tomorrow. So later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.